Welcome to the magical world of For You Kids. I am your friend and guide. Before we start tonight's story, imagine a place full of colors and laughter, where surprises hide in every corner. Now, let's get comfy and ready to drift into a beautifully dreamy adventure. The Snow Queen. Good evening, dear children. I am your sister Bella. Let's listen to stories and go to bed together today. How are you all feeling tonight? I hope you've had a wonderful day filled with laughter and fun. Are you snuggled up in your cozy beds, ready for a magical adventure? I can see your bright eyes twinkling with excitement. Before we begin our story, let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in and out. Feel your body relaxing, sinking into your soft pillows. That's it, nice and comfortable. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine a world covered in sparkling snow. Can you feel the crisp, cool air on your cheeks? Can you hear the soft crunch of snow beneath your feet? That's the magical world we're about to explore together. Tonight, I have a very special tale to share with you. It's a story of friendship, bravery, and the power of love. Are you ready to meet some extraordinary characters and join them on an incredible journey? As we embark on this adventure, remember that you're safe and warm in your bed. If anything in the story feels a bit scary, just remember it's all make-believe. And I'm right here with you. Now, let's get our imaginations ready. Wiggle your toes and fingers. And put on your best listening ears. Can you do that for me? Wonderful. Before we dive into our story, I want you to think about someone you very much. It could be your mom, dad, grandparent, or best friend. Hold that person in your heart as we begin our tale. because love is going to play an important, very important part in our adventure. Are you feeling cozy and ready? Let's take one more deep breath together. In and out. Perfect. Now, let your mind drift to a faraway isle and where snow falls gently from the sky, and the northern lights dance across the night. This is where our story begins, in a place where magic is real and anything is possible. So, my dear little ones, snuggle down, get comfy, and let's begin our enchanting journey into the world of the Snow Queen. I promise you an adventure filled with wonder, friendship, and a little bit magic. Are you ready? Then let's begin. In a cozy little village nestled among snow-capped mountains, there lived best friends named Gerda and Kay. Gerda was a cheerful girl with rosy cheeks and a heart full of kindness, while Kay was a curious boy with bright eyes and a mischievous smile. They spent their days playing in the village square, building snowmen, and sliding down the hills on their sleds. One chilly evening, as snowflakes danced in the air, Gerda's grandma Rose gathered the children around the fireplace. Listen closely. Little ones, she said, her eyes twinkling. I'm going to tell you about the Snow Queen. Rita and Kay leaned in, their eyes wide with wonder. Grandma Rose began her tale in a palace made of ice and snow. High up in the frozen north lives the Snow Queen. She's beautiful but cold-hearted, and her magic can freeze anything she touches. The children shivered, both from excitement and a touch of fear. Grandma Rose continued, but remember, my dears, even the coldest heart can be warmed by true friendship and love. As winter turned to spring, Gerda and Kay spent their days tending to their little garden. They had planted roses of every color, and the flowers bloomed beautifully under their care. One sunny afternoon, as they were watering their roses, they noticed something strange in the air. Gerda," he exclaimed, pointing at a shimmering speck floating down from the sky. It was a tiny shard of ice, sparkling like a diamond in the sunlight. Before Gerda could stop him, he reached out to catch it. The moment the ice shard touched Kay's hand, something changed. His eyes grew cold, and his smile disappeared. "Kay, are you all right?" Gerda asked, worried about her friend's sudden change. Kay brushed her off, saying, "I'm fine." "Don't be silly." But Gerda knew something was wrong. Her once kind and playful friend become distant and mean. Days passed, and Kay grew colder still. He no longer wanted to play with Gerda or tend their garden. Instead, he spent his time alone, solving puzzles and riddles. Gerda tried to cheer him up, but nothing seemed to work. One snowy night, as the northern lights danced across the sky, something extraordinary happened. A grand sleigh pulled by snow. White reindeer appeared in the village square. Sitting in the sleigh was a woman so beautiful and radiant that she seemed to glow. It was the Snow Queen herself, Kay, drawn by some unseen force. Walked towards the sleigh. The Snow Queen smiled at him, her eyes glittering like icicles. "Come with me, Kay," she said in a voice as soft as falling snow. "I'll show you wonders beyond your wildest dreams." Before Gerda could call out to her friend, the Snow Queen's sleigh rose into the air, carrying Kai away into the night sky. Gerda watched helplessly as her best friend disappeared as swirling snow. The next morning, the whole village was in an uproar. Kay was missing. Gerda told everyone about the Snow Queen, but the adults just shook their heads, thinking it was a child's imagination. But Gerda knew the truth. She knew she had to save her friend. With determination in her heart, Greta packed a small bag with warm clothes, some food, and a picture of her and Kay. She put on her warmest boots and her red coat, the one Kay always said made her look like a brave explorer. As she was about to leave, Grandma Rose came to her. "My brave Greta," she said, hugging her tightly. "I believe you." The Snow Queen is real, and your love for Kay is strong enough to save him. Take this with you. She handed Greta a small pouch filled with rose petals from their garden. These roses bloomed with the love you and Kay shared, Grandma Rose explained. They'll help you on your journey. Remember, Greta. Love is the warmest magic of all. With tears in her eyes but courage in her heart, Greta set off on her quest to find Kai and bring him home. She didn't know where the Snow Queen's palace was or how she would get there, but she was determined to try. As Greta took her steps into the unknown, the village behind her grew small in the distance. Ahead lay a world of adventure, danger, and magic, but Greta wasn't afraid. She had love on her side, and she wouldn't trust until she found her friend. And so, dear children, Greta's incredible journey to save Kay from the Snow Queen began. Are you ready to join her on this amazing adventure? Greta's journey took her through forests and over hills. Each step took her further from home and closer to Kay. As night fell on her first day of travel, she came across a cozy cottage with smoke curling from its chimney. An old woman with kind eyes and a warm smile opened the door. "Oh, you poor dear," she said, inviting Greta inside. "I'm Mrs. Whiskers. Come in, warm yourself by the fire, Mrs." Whiskers gave Greta a hot meal and a soft bed for the night. In the morning, Greta prepared to leave. Mrs. Whiskers handed her a pair of shiny red shoes. "These magic shoes will help you on your journey," she said. I'll take you where you need to go. But be careful. They have a mind of their own sometimes. Greet a faint missus. Whiskers set off again, her new shoes twinkling in the morning sun. As she walked, the shoes seemed to guide her feet, leading her down paths she might not have chosen herself. After several days of travel, Gerda found herself in a beautiful garden filled with flowers of every color imaginable. In the center of the garden stood a magnificent palace made entirely of flowers. Welcome, said a gentle voice. Gerda turned to see a beautiful woman with flowers woven into her hair. I am Princess Bloom, guardian of this garden. Gerda told Princess Bloom about her quest to find Kay. The princess listened carefully, then said, "The Snow Queen's palace is far to the north, beyond the reach of summer. But perhaps I can help you." She plucked a single golden flower from her hair and gave it to Gerda. "This flower will never wilt. It will remind you of the warmth of summer, even in the coldest winter." Thanking Princess Bloom, Gerda continued her journey. The magic shoes led her a dense forest where the trees whispered secrets to each other. As night fell, Gerda heard a soft crying sound. Following the sound, she found a little squirrel trapped in a tangle of vines. "Oh, please help me," squeaked the squirrel. Gerda carefully freed the little creature, who introduced himself as Nutkin. "Thank you, kind girl," Nutkin said. "I know all the paths through this forest. Let me guide you to the other side as a thank you for saving me." With Nutkin's help, Gerda made it through the dark forest safely. At the edge of the woods, Nutkin pointed north. "The Snow Queen's palace lies that way, beyond the frosty mountains," he said. "Be careful, Gerda. The mountains are treacherous. Gerda hugged Nutkin goodbye and set off towards the looming mountains. As she climbed higher, the air grew colder, and snow began to fall. The magic shoes kept her feet warm, but the rest of her shivered in the icy wind. Halfway up the mountain, Gerda encountered a group of friendly mountain goats. Their leader, a wise old goat named Billy, offered to help her cross the most dangerous parts of the mountain. "Hold onto my horns," Billy said, "and I'll guide you across the narrow ledges and over the icy crevices." With Billy's help, Gerda made it safely over the frosty mountains. From the highest peak, she could see a glittering palace in the distance, shining like a dime and against the snowy landscape. "That's the Snow Queen's palace," Billy told her. "Be brave, little one." Hardest part of your journey lies ahead. As Gerda descended the mountain, the world around her colder and whiter. Snow covered everything, and icy winds whipped at her face. But she pressed on, thinking of Kay and the warmth of their friendship. Finally, after what seemed like days of trudging through the snow, Gerda stood before the Snow Queen's palace. It was a magnificent structure made entirely of ice, with tall spires that reached towards the sky and walls that sparkled like mirrors. Gerda took a deep breath. Clutching the pouch of rose petals from Grandma Rose and the golden flower from Princess Bloom. "I'm coming," Kay, she whispered. And with determination in her heart, she stepped towards the icy gates of the Snow Queen's palace. As Gerda approached the towering ice gates of the Snow Queen's palace, a mixture of emotions swirled within her. Fear made her heart race, but the love for her friend Kay gave her courage. She thought of all the adventures they had shared, the laughter they had enjoyed, and the dreams they had whispered to each other under starry skies. "I miss you so much," Kay, Gerda whispered, her breath forming little clouds in the frigid air. "I hope you're okay. I hope you remember me." With trembling hands, Gerda pushed against the icy gates. To her surprise, they swung open silently, inviting her into a world of shimmering blue and white. The inside of the palace was even more breathtaking than the outside. Icicles hung like chandeliers from vaulted ceilings, and the walls were adorned with intricate frost patterns. As beautiful as it was, Gerda couldn't help but shiver. The cold here wasn't just physical, it seemed to seep into her very soul. She hugged herself tightly, trying to remember the warmth of home and friendship day. She called out, her voice echoing through the empty halls. "Tay, are you here?" Suddenly, she heard the sound of laughter cold and mirthless echoing from deeper within the palace. Gerda's heart leapt. She knew that laugh. But it sounded so different from the warm, friendly chuckle she remembered. Following the sound, Gerda found herself in a vast chamber. In the center stood Kay, but he was not as she remembered him. His eyes were cold and empty, and his smile was as sharp as an icicle. He was arranging pieces of ice on the floor, trying to spell out a word K. Gerda cried out, rushing towards her friend, but Kay barely looked up. "Go away," he said, his voice as frigid as the air around them. "I'm busy." The Snow Queen has given me a puzzle to solve. Gerda felt her heart breaking. This wasn't the case she knew and loved. What had the Snow Queen done to him? "Kay, please," Gerda pleaded, tears forming in her eyes. "Don't you remember me? Don't you remember our garden, our games, our friendship?" For a moment, something flickered in Kay's eyes, a hint of recognition, spark of warmth. But it vanished as quickly as it had appeared. "Friendship is silly," Kay said dismissively. "Puzzles are much more interesting. Now leave me alone." Gerda felt a wave of despair wash over her. Had she come all this way for nothing? Was her Kate truly gone? But And she remembered grandma Rose's words, love is the warmest magic of all. With shaking hands, Gerda reached into her pocket and pulled out the pouch of rose petals. "Kay," she said softly, "do you remember these? They're from our garden." The roses we planted together. She sprinkled a few petals onto Kay's icy puzzle. As they touched the frozen floor, something extraordinary happened. The ice began to melt, and a sweet fragrance filled the air. Kay's eyes widened in surprise. He reached out to touch a petal, and as he did, a tear formed in the corner of his eye. "Gerda," he whispered, his voice sounding more like himself. "Is it really you?" Before Gerda could respond, a cold wind swept through the chamber. The Snow Queen appeared, her beauty as terrifying as it was magnificent. "What is this?" she demanded, her voice like cracking ice. "Who dares to bring warmth into my kingdom?" Gerda stood tall, facing the Snow Queen with all the courage she could muster. "I do," she said, her voice trembling but determined. "I've come to take Kay home." The Snow Queen's eyes flashed with anger. "He belongs to me now," she hissed. "His heart is frozen. His memories of warmth and love are gone." But Gerda wasn't backing down. She reached into her pocket again, this time pulling out the golden flower from Princess Bloom. Its petals glowed with an inner light, radiating warmth in the icy chamber. "Love isn't so easily forgotten," Gerda said, holding the flower high. "It lives in our hearts, even when we can't feel it. And I love Kay enough for both of us." As she spoke, flowers' glow grew brighter, filling the room with golden light. The ice around them began to melt, and the Snow Queen stepped back, shielding her eyes. Kay blinked, as if waking from a long sleep. "Gerda," he said again, his voice filled with wonder and recognition. "You came for me." Greta rushed to her friend, grabbing him in a tight hug. "Of course I did," she said, tears of joy streaming down her face. "You're my best friend. I'd go to the end of the world for you." As they embraced, the last of the ice in Hay's heart melted away. He remembered everything: their friendship, their adventures, the love they shared. And as he remembered, the Snow Queen's power over him vanished like mist in the morning sun. The Snow Queen let out a cry of frustration, but there was nothing she could do. The warmth of true friendship had broken her spell. In a swirl of snowflakes, she disappeared, leaving Gerda and Kay alone in the melting palace. Hand in hand, the two friends made their way out of the palace, ready to begin their journey home. As they stepped into the snowy world outside, they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. For they had learned that the warmth of friendship could overcome even the coldest magic. As Gerda and Kay stepped out of the melting ice palace, they found themselves in a world of swirling snow and biting wind. The Snow Queen might have disappeared, her winter still held the land in its icy grip. "How will we get home?" Kay asked, shivering in his thin clothes. The warmth of friendship had melted the ice in his heart, but it couldn't protect him from the cold around them. Gerda squeezed his hand reassuringly. "We'll find a way," she said, though she wasn't sure how. The journey here had been long and difficult, and she didn't know if she had the strength to make it back. Just then, Gerda remembered the magic shoes Mrs. Whiskers had given her. "Kay, look," she exclaimed, pointing at her feet. "These shoes help guide me here. Maybe they can lead us home." As if hearing her words, the shoes began to close softly. Gerda and Kay watched in amazement as a path of twinkling light appeared before them, cutting through the snowy landscape. "It's showing us the way," Kay said excitedly. "Come on, Gerda, let's go." Hand in hand, the two friends set off along the glowing path, As they walked, Gerda told Kay about all the adventures she had on her journey to find him meeting Mrs. Whiskers, visiting Princess Bloom's flower palace, and crossing the frosty mountains with Billy the mountain goat. Kay listened with wide eyes, marveling at his friend's bravery. "You did all that for me?" he asked, his voice filled with wonder. Great nodded, smiling. "Of course I did. You're my best friend, Kay. I'd do anything for you." As they traveled, the harsh winter landscape slowly began to change. The snow became less deep, and patches of green grass peeked through. The air grew warmer, and they could hear the faint sound of birds singing in the distance. But their journey wasn't over yet. As they approached the frosty mountains, dark clouds gathered overhead. Thunder rumbled, and flashes of lightning illuminated the sky. "Oh no," Gerda gasped. "A storm is coming." The wind picked up, whipping snow and ice around them. Glowing path from Gerda's shoes flickered and faded, obscured by the swirling snow. "What do we do now?" Kay shouted over the howling wind. Gerda reached into her pocket and pulled out the golden flower from Princess Bloom. Its warm glow pushed back the darkness, creating a small circle of light around them. "We keep going," Gerda said firmly. "We've come too far to give up now." Holding the flower high, Gerda led the way. The storm raged around them, but the flower's light kept them safe, melting the ice and snow in their path. As they climbed higher into the mountains, the storm grew fiercer. Lightning struck nearby, causing small avalanches of snow and ice. Gerda and Kay huddled close together, taking shelter behind large rocks when the wind became too strong. Just when it seemed they couldn't go on, they heard a familiar voice calling out to them, "Gerda, Kay over here." through the swirling snow. They saw Billy the mountain goat standing on a ledge above them. "Hurry," he called. "I know a safe path through the storm." With renewed hope, Gerda and Kay scrambled up to join Billy. The wise old goat led them along narrow ledges and through hidden caves, always staying one step ahead of the raging storm. Finally, they emerged on the other side of the mountains. The storm was behind them, and ahead lay rolling hills covered in spring flowers. "Thank you, Billy," Gerda said, hugging the mountain goat. "We couldn't have made it without you." Billy smiled. "It was my pleasure," he said. "Now your home lies just beyond those hills." Safe travels, my young friends. As they continued their journey, the world around them transformed. Winter gave way to spring, then to the warmth of summer. They passed through the forest where Gerda had met Nutkin the squirrel. And soon they could see Princess Bloom's flower palace in the distance. Princess Bloom herself came out to greet them, face beaming with joy. "You did it, Gerda," she exclaimed. She waved her hand, and suddenly Gerda and Kay found themselves wearing beautiful clothes made of flower petals. "A gift for your bravery," Princess Bloom explained. "These will keep you warm and safe for the rest of your journey." Refreshed and reinvigorated, Gerda and Kay set off for the final leg of their journey. As the sun began to set, they crested a hill and saw a familiar sight in the distance, their village. Excitement bubbled up inside them as they ran down the hill, their feet barely touching the ground. As they entered the village square, they were met with cries of joy and amazement, Gerda came. Voices called out, "They're back, they're safe." Grandma Rose pushed through the crowd, tears of happiness streaming down her face. She wrapped both children in a warm embrace. "Oh, my brave, wonderful children," she said. "I knew you could do it, Gerda. I knew your love would bring Kay home." As the villagers celebrated around them, Gerda and Kay shared a smile. They had faced the cold of winter, the fury of storms, and the magic of the Snow Queen. But in the end, it was the warmth of their friendship that had saved them. And they knew that no matter what adventures or challenges lay ahead, they would always have each other. For they had learned that true friendship was the greatest magic of all. Well, my little adventurers, wasn't that an exciting journey? I can see your eyes sparkling with wonder. How did you feel when Gerda set out to find Kay? Were you a bit scared for her? I know I was. But our brave Gerda didn't give up, did she? Can you imagine walking through that snowy first door, climbing those icy mountains, Grips? I bet it was so cold. Gerda had something very special to keep her warm. Do you know what it was? That's right, her love for Kay and the memory of their friendship. Oh, and what about those magical helpers Gerda met along the way? Wasn't Mrs. Whiskers kind to give Gerda those special shoes? And Princess Bloom with her golden flower, how beautiful that must have been. I wonder if you could have a magical item to help you on an adventure. What would it be? When Gerda finally found Kay in the Snow Queen's palace, how did you feel? Were you worried when Kay didn't recognize her at first? I held my breath during that part. But Gerda didn't give up, did she? She remembered what her grandmother said about love being the warmest magic of all. Wasn't it amazing how the rose petals and the golden flower helped melt the ice? It shows that even in the coldest places, a little bit of love can make a big difference. And that storm in the mountains, oh my, that must have been so scary. But Gerda and Kay faced it together, didn't they? That's what good friends do. They help each other through tough times. I'm so happy they made it home safely in the end. Can you imagine how excited everyone in the village must have been to see them? I bet there were lots of hugs and happy tears. You know, this story reminds us something very important. It shows us that friendship and love are very powerful. They can help us overcome big challenges and even melt the coldest hearts. Now, I have a question for you. If you were Gerda, what would you have done to help Kay remember your friendship? Would you have brought something special from home to remind him? Or maybe you would have sung a song you both liked. I'd love to hear your ideas. And here's another thing to think about. Gerda was very brave throughout her journey. Can you think of a time when you were brave? Maybe it was when you tried something new, or when you helped a friend who was feeling sad. Being brave doesn't always mean fighting dragons or evil queens. Sometimes it's the little acts of kindness and courage that make the biggest difference. Remember, my little ones, you all have that same magic inside you, the magic of kindness, friendship, and love. And just like Gerda and Kay, you can use that magic to do wonderful things and help others. Now, my little adventurers, as our story comes to a close, it's time for you to embark on your own journey, a journey to the land of dreams. Let's get you all cozy and ready for sleep. shall we? First, let's take a deep breath together. Breathe in slowly. Imagining you're smelling one of the beautiful roses from Gerda and Kay's garden. Now breathe out, letting all the excitement of the day float away like snowflakes in the wind. Close your eyes and picture yourself in a warm, soft bed, just like the one Mrs. Whiskers offered Gerda. Feel how comfortable and safe you are, wrapped up in your blankets like a snug cocoon. But instead of taking you through snowy forests and over icy mountains, these shoes are going to lead you to wonderful dreams. As you lie there, think about Princess Bloom's beautiful flower palace. Can you see all the colorful petals? Can you smell their sweet fragrance? Let that peaceful garden fill your mind, pushing away any worries or thoughts about tomorrow. Listen carefully. Can you hear the gentle whisper of the trees in the forest where Greek and Nut kin the squirrel? Let that soft rustling sound soothe you, like a lullaby sung by nature itself. Feel the warmth of friendship spreading through you, just like the golden flowers glow that melted the ice in the Snow Queen's palace. Let that warmth relax every part of your body, from your toes all the way up to the top of your head. Imagine Grand Morose is here, tucking you in and giving you a gentle kiss on the forehead. Her love surrounds you like a protective blanket, keeping you safe and warm all through the night. As you drift closer to sleep, picture yourself floating on a soft cloud high above frosty mountains. The storm has passed and all is calm and peaceful. The stars twinkle above you like tiny, friendly eyes watching over you. Remember, just like Gerda and Kay found their way home, Your dreams will always bring you back safely to your warm bed when morning comes. Let your breathing become slow and steady. Hike the gentle sway of the flowers in Princess Bloom's garden. With each breath, you sink deeper into relaxation, closer to the land of dreams. And as you teeter on the edge of sleep, remember that you carry the magic of kindness and friendship within you, just like Gerda did. That magic will be with you all night long, filling your dreams with wonder and joy. So quiet, my little ones. Let the adventures of the day fade away and allow new adventures to unfold in your dreams. The Snow Queen's icy palace melts away, replaced by castles made of clouds and rainbows. Drift off now, floating on a sea of sweet dreams. Tomorrow will bring new adventures, but for now, rest peacefully in the warm embrace of sleep. Sweet dreams, my brave little adventurers. May your night be filled with magic, just like Gerda K's journey. Hope you enjoyed our magical journey. Before you drift off to sleep, don't forget to subscribe to For You Kids to ensure you never miss a story. Good night, little ones. Sweet dreams.